Hello and welcome to Venice. This is the ultimate guide for first-time visitors to the city. We're not going to show you many of the sights as there's loads of videos helping you there, but we will have all of the essential tips for your first trip to Venice, so you'll feel super confident when you arrive. We also love local secrets and will reveal exactly where you can turn water into wine. First up, getting to Venice from the airport. There are 3 ways to get to the islands. The bus is under €20 return and they run every 30 minutes, a great budget option. The water taxi is the most expensive option as it's €100 more, but it is the most convenient as they'll take you straight to your hotel from the airport dock. You are allowed to have 10 people on the boat, so it could be a really good option if you're in a group. We went for the water bus called the Ali Laguna, which is just under €30 for a return journey. This way you get the excitement of arriving in Venice on the water, but it's much cheaper than the taxi. We were worried about arriving in the dark and not being able to see anything, but it was actually a magical start to our trip.
The films.
Travelling does feel too easy these days, so going from a plane to a boat makes you feel like you're going back to the golden age of travel. We chose a central hotel, which meant we were never more than a 30-minute walk from anywhere in the city. Most places were closer. Some people get a cheaper hotel off the islands and travel in each day, but it's up to you. We all know that Venice is a city of canals, but it's really hard to comprehend until you start walking around it yourself properly. There are really no roads at all. It's just alleyways, bridges and water. It's genuinely like nowhere else in the world. Getting lost in Venice is the best way to enjoy the city. But we found it was good to have some places to aim for, so we were exploring new areas and not just St. Mark's Square. Let's take you for a little tour to inspire you and give you some ideas. Okay, we are starting in St. Mark's Square, but this is just so you can get your bearings, take some photos, and realise that this is a very touristy area and that you might not want to spend your whole trip here. This is where you do the tours of the Basilica, Doge's Palace, and the Bell Tower. We didn't do any of these tours and didn't feel that we missed much. Right, time for you to get lost for the first time. Go through the arches on the opposite side to the Basilica and wander around the posh side of town. Here it's pristine Venice with high-end shops and amazing views everywhere you look. There is just so much to look at, so you're looking here at the gondolas and you go up some steps up the canal. And then you're greeted by an amazing old church here as well. Everywhere is like a feast for your eyes. Try to explore any streets that take you down to the main canals. You might stumble across a view like this. If you walk back along the waterside towards the Basilica and Doge's Palace, you'll find some well-priced cafes and restaurants with a view. Just so you know, we will be eating and drinking a lot in this video as we are in Italy. This video wasn't sponsored by Aperol Spritz, but it probably should have been. While we're talking about places to stop, in the square you'll find Cafe Florian, which is believed to be the second oldest coffee shop in the world. It's a decadent old world affair which draws the crowds, but you are going to pay for the experience. So having a coffee in Italy is a big part of the culture, isn't it? And it's one of those kind of dreams to be in Venice and have one in the square here. But it can cost up to €12 just for a latte and €7 for just a tiny little espresso. So my top tip is to go 2 or 3 streets over and you get it for more than half the price. And if you go up to the bar, it's even cheaper. I had to try an espresso like a local at one cafe at least. This one was just €1.70 and it means I'm basically half Italian now. Okay, that's central Venice done. Let's head west to the student district, which is the setting of a true Hollywood blockbuster. Walking to this location will force you to cross over one of the 4 bridges which span the Grand Canal. This is the wooden Academia Bridge, which looks modest from below. But the view from the top is majestic. It may also feel very familiar because several software companies have made screensavers of this unique view of the city. Right, time for you to try our movie quiz. What Hollywood movie was set here? Now, fans of the film will already know exactly what it is, even now when I'm on this bridge. Does this help? Okay, you must have got it now. Okay, this is from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and this is where we actually find the knight's tomb. But, come with me. As you know in the film, Indiana Jones jumps out of a little manhole cover here, but there isn't anything here. When they were filming it, they got special permission to dig up the concrete or the tiles here and then put in a manhole themselves. It cost them a lot of money to do it, and they had to make sure they didn't hit the water levels and things, but that's the secret behind the film. Right, I've got to go. There's a knight's tomb I've got to find. If you're not an Indiana Jones fan, don't worry. The church is now the home to a fascinating Leonardo da Vinci museum. And the square is a great option for an alfresco drink. I told you, we genuinely planned our days around food and drink. Let's check out the eastern side of the city, which means you'll have to cross the most famous bridge in Venice. The Rialto Bridge was the only way to cross the Grand Canal on foot until the 19th century. Rialto means marketplace, and it's just as bustling today with tourists. Grab a selfie as soon as you can, then leave the crowds behind. We're heading to an Instagrammer's paradise. This is the Acqua Alta bookshop, where the owners put everything in gondolas and bathtubs after the shop was heavily flooded. The damaged books have been turned into a tourist attraction with this unique staircase. It's become so popular that you might get ushered through the shop quite quickly though. A short walk away is Cala Varisco.
This is the narrowest street in Venice. And at the end, there's a really pretty view that goes out onto the canal, which is your reward for squeezing through. If you've had too much pizza and pasta, you might not be able to make it through this.
Oh, that is tight. Here is your prize for squeezing through, and another chance for a selfie. Right, I think it's been long enough since we stopped for a drink. Let's head to the northern Cannaregio district to show you how you can turn water into wine. This is where all the locals come to fill up their empty plastic water bottles. That's because the wine in here is literally on tap. They have red, white, Prosecco, and you can sample a few before you make your choice. So you can do tastings in there, and I actually went for a red wine, and it was only €2.50 to fill this up completely, or you can go for a whole litre for €5. So it's a brilliant price. All the locals come here, and the extra brilliant thing about it is that everyone else in Venice thinks I'm drinking water, when really I'm drinking wine and getting drunk. This is going to be a fun afternoon. See you later. We've now been to the four corners of Venice together, and if you follow some of our walks, you'll stumble across loads of piazzas, churches and bridges that you would have never have seen otherwise. You also realise that the different districts all have their own personality. We actually preferred eating and meandering around anywhere but St. Mark's Square. Wherever you are in Venice, you should be able to find their local delicacy, Cicchetti. We've heard so much about the Cicchettis, now we actually have to do it for real. Let's give it a go, Venice style.
David doesn't share food, but he's on camera, so he has to now.
We've been basically walking around, finding either a coffee or somewhere to eat or drink.
The Venice life.
It's brilliant, I love it. I think the Cicchetti would really work well and pair well with wine. While we're on the subject of food, we found we could walk straight into a normal restaurant no problem in February. You might need to book ahead in the summer. We spotted this area during the day and came back at night.
So we found this little place. There's like 3 or 4 restaurants to choose from.
It's even got like a fixed price menu as well.
And this is like a truffle, how do I say it?
Pappardelle.
Pappardelle. Truffle pappardelle with mushrooms. God, it's amazing.
Even during the winter though, you'll need to make a reservation at the top restaurants. We wanted to make sure we had one special dinner, so booked one place before we arrived in Italy. It was lucky we did, as the restaurant was fully booked. Another thing that people think they need to book beforehand is the gondola. We found that there were more than enough gondoliers all over Venice, and we were able to get aboard very quickly. I thought that going on a gondola was going to be a huge disappointment, as it's such a touristy thing to do, but I loved it. It was so peaceful and a chance to sit and enjoy some time together. We got lucky and found a route which started on the quiet canals, but finished by going out to the Rialto Bridge on the Grand Canal.
It's so relaxing, isn't it?
I know, it'd be a good time to kind of get the water bottle out again.
I could use some hydration here.
You could get a super private ride if you opt for a gondola in a quieter part of the city. The gondola ride is €90 for around 30 minutes and €110 after dark, so it is very expensive. But if you're looking to have the gondola experience for less, remember the ride is €90 for up to 5 people, which would bring it down to €18 each. So, if you make friends with another couple, you could take it in turns to take photos or videos for each other. If you're looking to pop the question or have a super memorable ride, you could go all out and book a gondola which has a photographer assigned to you. I'll leave the link to this in the description, along with a few other links and money off codes. Scivola, scivola. If you're happy to share with strangers and have just a short trip across the Grand Canal, you can have a gondola ride for just €2 per person. Look out for these signs for the public ferry service. Our final tip is the timing of your trip. In the summer it gets very busy around the city and it's also very hot. I'm talking 40 degrees hot. We were here in late February and had amazing weather, but I know it rained the year before, so it's not guaranteed. We coincided our trip with the Venice Carnival, which brings the city to life in a whole new way. We'll explain all in this video, so you can see if you want to come then too.